Good morning, everybody. It is Friday. Welcome to another episode of Married to Sports. With me, as always, I have Rodney and Corey. And due to some coaching schedules and changes, we got Coach Bacon today. Welcome in, Coach. Kind of missed you on Wednesday. Uh,
Hey, how we
but
doing?
you had some stuff going.
I don't know if
You
I
got some
missed.
guys coming to visit you. You got to look at a picture. You got to look at some pictures. Kind of talk to us about what's been going on. What's new in the world of Coach Bacon.
Yeah, we've had a couple visits this week. We actually have a transfer pitcher and infielder in on campus today, so just busy times.
You need to come up north and start doing some recruiting, coach.
How hard is it to
I
really
want to go
sell your
further south.
how hard is it to really sell your program? I know your program speaks for itself, but when you bring in all kinds of kids, what they're looking for, how hard is it to sell your program?
I mean, I guess like we're less about selling and just being who we are, and if that fits them, then that fits them. Um, and that's just how we view it because we want guys that are likable and guys that like want to be here, not guys we have to talk into it. And you know, guys, you got to talk into stuff. Like it's rarely does it turn out well. So we're just who we are, and if they like it, they like it. If they don't, oh well. There's more fish in the sea.
Selling might have been the wrong word there, but that's the answer I was looking for, basically.
No, I mean it's true. I think there's a lot of places that will like do a sales pitch, and that's just not really who we are.
It's funny that you mentioned that
We're
Sorry,
getting
because
into
I
the.
coached college football for a year,
Just go ahead.
and when I came from the car business, so I was like, man, how hard is this going to be to sell kids? Sell kids to come play football. It's going to be pretty easy. But when you take the salesman out of it and you start being the coach that you are, and you start talking to these parents about like this is what I'm trying to do with my life. This is where I'm hoping your kids are trying to do with your life. And then you start opening that open communication, and the recruiting process really did change for me. It made it a whole lot easier when I was just
Yeah.
selling myself as a coach, not selling my program as a whole. And yeah, so I agree
Well,
with you.
and I think I'm just kind of who I am, man. Like I'm 36. Like I am who I am on social media. I am who I am like everywhere, and I get that everybody might not like that. And I, it's taken me a long time to really get comfortable with that because like I enjoy people. Like I'm hardwired that way, and so like we all like to be liked. Um, but I just am who I am. Like people don't like that I'm vocal about like my faith in Jesus Christ. Like, oh well. Like if
Yeah.
people don't like that we do things a certain way, oh well. Like, and that doesn't me saying oh well doesn't make it easier, but it just is like it makes it like the
Right.
reality of it.
You have to be that way though for your benefit too, because if we try to go through life trying to impress everybody, we're going to be miserable as a person. And I'd rather have if I was getting looked at as from a coach, I want honesty. I want the real person. I don't want to see I don't want to see somebody come into my house and talk to me, blah blah blah, and then I get to campus and they're completely the opposite way that they were when they were at my house.
Yep.
Yeah, yeah, and I think that's like maybe kind of what you see with some of these programs that like fall apart or struggle. There's a couple instances in multiple sports that I can think of. Like I think there's one that's really coming to light down in Baton Rouge that like you can kind of see that playing out, and that's just not it's not a healthy environment. Like at the end of the day, sports are incredible. They're made to teach life lessons. If you saw my TikTok earlier this week, Herb Street said something about like participation in youth sports is down. And I'm like, yeah, because like people have made it a business,
Yeah,
like off the backs of children.
Yep.
and it's a freaking abomination. But like people keep paying it. Like my wife and I were talking last night. I've got like basically if you play club baseball in Dallas right now, like, you're gonna pay $5,000 to $7,000 a year if you're on a good club, plus
Yep.
like your travel expenses. And so like you're probably gonna spend $15,000 to $20,000. I'm like, for what? Like, I mean, the idea of like paying for experiences in my mind is like is such a terrible construct to develop like a game plan for a child to progress athletically, but it's also like a terrible construct for you to like have healthy dynamic within a family unit for most people. Now, some
Yeah.
people can afford it; it's no big deal. But like, I don't know.
You know, like
That's like a 4 hour rant, though. I could go
yeah,
on.
well, like baseball here. Okay, me growing up, we always played. It was rec ball, and I mean, different teams. Blah blah blah. We had like 6 or 8 teams, and we've played. Now it's not rec ball. As soon as it's done with t-ball, it's travel ball, and
Oh,
the rec league's pretty much gone now, and it's like they've made it where there's a lot of parents that can't afford to do that with the money nowadays. They can't afford that.
no, it's sad. It really is, and like, I don't know. I guess I'm part of the problem too, though, because like I work for a showcase group in the summer, but like also like I just feel like we don't take care of coaches well enough, and that's why I'm kind of forced to do that financially for my family.
Yeah.
And like, it's like it's a whole. There's so many layers to it all, guys. It's unfortunate because it, like I used to have when I started doing this, we had tons of guys that wanted to coach. Now I don't have tons of guys that want to continue coaching because all they see is coaches get ridiculed on the backside of it too. Well, no wonder they're getting ridiculed because there's been so much financial investment. Like if it's not working out, you've got to blame somebody.
Yep.
Yeah.
Something that I enjoy, Coach, is I coached JFL junior football league. Then I got hired at the high school, and I did that for a couple of years. But it's been 5 years since I've coached, 4 or 5 years, and I'll be out or something, and I'll see one of the guys I coached, and they'll be like, "Hey, Coach," they still say, hey, coach," and it's like they're adults now, and I'm like, you know what? I say hi and stuff, but it makes me feel good, and I was like, well, maybe I did do something right there.
Yeah, well, for sure. I had one of those moments last night when I was out at dinner with a former player who's like, he's got to be 29, 30, and like, yeah, saw him and his wife and their new baby last night while we were out.
And they say, Coach, and it makes you smile. You're like, maybe I'd rather them say that than look at that. You know what?
Yeah,
Go back to
some of them are
Coach,
saying that too.
you and I are very
about
similar
me,
in
so.
age. Graduated high school at the same time. And do you think it's the social media? We didn't have social media, and it's probably a good thing I didn't have it. I mean, we had Facebook, but we didn't have like cell phones. We had Facebook and MySpace, okay, but you had to be on a computer to do that, or you had to have a laptop. You didn't have your phone. You like Alltel had basic flip phones, and that was the cool phone, Um,
Yeah, the
yeah.
sidekick, baby.
So when I did my recruiting in college, dude, I was getting my film and stuff off Twitter. Players' phone numbers, players' film, everything I needed was off Twitter. Call them up, talk to their parents, set up a meeting, do all this stuff. Um, but do you think social media and obviously the money has changed because we did get NIL deals back then. Now that you have NIL deals, it seems like the players' attitude have changed, the mentality's changed, the access has changed. There's a whole lot that has gone into it. And I mean, do you think it's really the social media that's caused this fury?
No, I'll say no. I think because I don't think you see as much of it in football. Because football doesn't have like a financial component really. but like you see it a ton in basketball, you see it a ton in baseball and softball, like a lot of it. And I really feel like because of the financial investment that families put in, it creates a different stress and strain on the family and the athlete. And that's where you get like a ton of stuff going on. Now, football has its own issues. Football has a ton of NIL money, but like I don't think you see some of the issues like in that sport, right, as you
Right.
do in the others. Because football's always sim film, football's always had huddle, like baseball, softball. We basketball. You used to just go out and watch kids play, and that's how you recruited.
Yeah, I
And like,
remember huddle. That's what we had. Like like I said, 5 years ago, it was huddle. We did. I remember when I first started at the high school. It was funny because before every games you have to go set up the cameras in the end zones and stuff like that. And now we had to get the headsets all tuned up together and everything. But now they have like kids or somebody does it, but it's a lot. The technology is 10 times better in just 5 years.
for
Talk
sure,
to me.
it is. I just I think I just really I see it. I see it a lot. Like, and not that I talk to parents about it. I mean, some of them will bring it up, but like I don't know. Like I've kind of made the decision, my wife and I, that like our kids, if they're good, like we aren't good. Like I mean, we'll invest in them, but not like astronomically. Like because the reality is like no matter the investment, like they're. I think we often forget about like the genetic component, right? Like
Yeah.
people are just wired differently, and like they're going to be Division 1 athletes, and like Division 1 coaches want Division 1 athletes,
Well,
and so it's like you can't out out train your genetic pool,
Talk,
Right.
if
talk
that
to me
makes
about
sense.
something real quick. A lot of these coaches used to have to do a lot of in-home visits. Do you still see that a lot with the emergence of social media and all, like the FaceTime calls you can have? Are they really going out to these homes still?
I'll do it occasionally. I don't know about football, other sports. Baseball hasn't like always been as big in that. I think that's like again falls more into that football basketball sector. Um, so it's like G and I were talking the other day. Like Oklahoma State, they literally just I heard like probably 20 years ago, like they would just pick up Baseball America and look at the top 100 players and just start calling them and offering them.
yeah.
Like that's what they would do. Like it wasn't, and then they would go to the junior colleges and places around Oklahoma State and like go get the best guys around there, even and bring them to the probably franchise that is Oklahoma State.
Yeah. Well, talking about the kids and stuff, my grandson's 7. He wrestles. This is his third year wrestling, and he for him just his age this year because he grew out of his singlet. We had to get the new singlets and stuff, a new thing. There was $100, and then his wrestling shoes were over $100, and then $60 to sign him up, and then like they do in Illinois is any tournament if he wants to go wrestle at a tournament, that tournament's anywhere from $25 to $40 for that tournament, and it's like, whoa,
Plus an admissions fee, I'm guessing, for parents.
yeah, $5 to get in. I mean,
Yep.
it's just like, and then the travel expensive. It's just like, okay, what I do with him is I pick a certain number, we pick a certain number, and we stick to it. I mean, I see parents that take their kids every weekend up and down the state Saturday and Sunday wrestling, and I'm like, why are you doing that to them?
Well, for what? Like, and this is, I guess, like where my like personal beliefs come in. Like, for what?
Exactly.
Like, there's so like and this is again us personally. Like, my daughter playing soccer right now, and they have practice on Monday, Wednesday. Like, we don't take her to Wednesday practice. We go to church.
Yeah.
Like,
That's something you've seen
because
kids get away from a lot too.
oh
Parents,
yeah, I
because
remember. Yeah, it's because you play and practice every day of the week for what? Like, I love sport. Like I don't want to sound like a Debbie Downer. Obviously, it's like my what I do. It's just it's I think the bigger issue I see is like so many student athletes come in unrooted because they spent all their time in a gym, all their time on a field, and they don't have like roots. And then they go to their phone and they compare themselves against their peers, like as they scroll through social media. And it's like we just created a cycle of like of challenges, right? Like,
Unnecessary
I
challenges.
mean, yeah, like we don't need to go in the mental health conversation, like
Yeah.
because I'll probably like really create some cool sound bites for people to pull off of here because I think they're overstimulated and over medicated and not corrected enough. And of course that's going to create a psychological like imbalance of like never feeling like you're good enough and you can get away with everything, which is a very dangerous combination in my
Yes.
opinion.
Yes. I do
And
agree.
so like yeah, but I think it's also creating a cool dynamic, like where if you go on social media right now and look, like I think I forget where it was. Cincinnati, University of Cincinnati, the other night, like had a huge revival, like and they saw like hundreds of kids like accept the Lord and get baptized.
Yeah.
Last weekend, what's Jermaine Williams, right? Like the wide receiver for Alabama. I
Yeah.
don't know if you saw it.
Jeremiah Williams.
Yeah, Jeremiah Williams. But like he like allowed somehow got Alabama to let him have like the stadium and hosted like a revival night on Sunday night, 2 Sunday nights ago, where there was thousands of students from the University of Alabama there. So like within that, you're also seeing like like the kids that are in school right now recognizing that they need something and they don't have a foundation, and they're finding it, and they're finding it in really healthy spots. And again, like I'm on the edge of going to like some very not sports stuff on Married to Sports podcast
Well,
here
Coach,
because
you
but
say.
like
Oh, sorry.
if that's not if those people aren't doing it, like for me, like I believe that like there's only one pathway, right? And that's through the blood of Jesus. But like if people aren't like accepting that, like they're going to go somewhere else. Like, and again, like right, wrong, or indifferent, no matter how you think, how I view it is like, I don't want to see New York City having prayer hour for Muslims in Times Square, a place that Muslims blew up the city in. And that's
Yeah.
what's happening
Yeah.
right now.
Well,
And
saying that, well, the sad part is what you said about Ryan Williams, what you said about Cincinnati. You see, but that's the thing with sports nowadays. You don't hear about it. Nobody's really heard about that happening at Alabama. But if that same receiver went out, got intoxicated, and got in a car wreck, that'd be national news. They
mhm.
don't show the good side of the athletes. They only want to show the bad side, and that's the media, putting their twist on
You
it.
know,
Oh,
we're
for
talking
sure.
about this, and I can remember a few years ago, DeAndre Hopkins was baptized on the field at practice,
Hmm.
and Dabo Sweeney took a lot of hit for over the social media, over platforms that were against it, keeping religion out of sports and all. But you know what? Religion has always been a part of sports. Whether you kneel for the flag against the flag, like other people do, or you stand and hold your hand over your heart and worship, and not worship, but that's the wrong word, but for the sake of how I'm saying it, to salute the flag. But and now you're seeing more athletes getting in circle time even before the game to pray and after the game to have some kind of fellowship on the field. It's been coming. The revival is. Help me out here, Coach. Ohio State. What national championship was it that they had all the athletes out there doing last
Last
year?
year.
I
Yeah.
mean, you're seeing it.
And CJ Stroud really started that
Yeah,
before he left.
you're seeing it more and more.
Well, I mean, Patty Gasso's group. I don't know if you know this or not, but do you guys know? Have you guys ever listened to Sports Spectrum?
I have not.
Yeah, it's Jason Romano. He used to be on ESPN, So he's developed Sports Spectrum. He goes and does like faith-based like sports stories across, and I follow him on everywhere. That's where I see a lot of this stuff is. And a couple years ago, he went into OU softball for the fall, and they did like a 7-part series with like Kinsey Hansen, Jada Coleman, Patty, JT, all of them. And then Sarah Roberts, their FCA director, who like is just does an incredible job. She actually doesn't live in Norman anymore. I'm pretty sure she lives in Georgia. I love following her stuff. But like the way Patty Gasso has done it is incredible and made it like I don't know like when they were going for their 4th national championship in a row, you saw them hold up the number 4, and it wasn't about like them getting their 4. It was about everything they did was for him. And then they did the eyes thing on the 3rd one, eyes up to the Lord, and their whole program did it. And following, I can't remember if it's the 2nd or 3rd one. There's a song by Matthew West called "Nobody." It's an incredible song. If you're listening, haven't ever turn it on. It's just awesome. It brings joy to your heart. But like they somehow they got it to play after they won the national championship, and ESPN cut the feed as OU softball went to center field and sang it with like everybody that was there, hung out in the stadium, and like they have some incredible clips from press conferences. And it's like, to your point, Rodney, it's like they do, like, I think they suppress that because of like so many different agendas, right? Like, listen, people listening to this may not agree with me. I'm okay, cool. Like, but I still love them, and no matter their choices in life. And like everybody wants to perpetuate this idea of like hate from like my stance, right? Like my platform through Jesus. Like I don't hate anybody. Like I have friends that have different lifestyles. I have people in my life that have different lifestyles and beliefs. Like my job is to love them, and like it's not to accept their shortcomings. Just like I don't want my wife to accept my shortcomings if I like swear, around the kids or whatever. I don't want her to accept that. I want her to call me up to higher ground and like put my sin to bed. And that's all I want for people that I see in those lifestyles. And like if people perceive that as hate, like I can't control that. And I think you're seeing a very drastic shift into like people like going, you know what, I can't control that, instead of living in the fear of like, well, if I get backlash for this, right? Like I think you saw a generation of athletes see Tim Tebow just get like demonized for his faith, which was terrible. I mean, Tim Tebow, like however you feel him as a quarterback, man, he won a playoff game. Like, he leads the Broncos to the playoffs. I watched him play in Kansas City. He threw like 8 passes and they beat the Chiefs at Arrowhead. Like, and he just got completely demonized because of like the spotlight he brought to the other stuff. And I am like, man, it did not sway him at all. And I think you saw a generation of athletes become fearful that it would disrupt maybe their careers, but I think you're seeing them not care about that right now. And it's really cool to see. I think, right, like John Mateer, right? Everybody who's listens knows that I'm an OU fan. A couple of weeks ago, they asked him, I forget who they beat. Anyway, anyways, you can probably find the clip, but they're like, man, you're a lot like Johnny Manziel. Like, what does that make you do? Like, he's like, well, the biggest difference is that Johnny and I'll be at church tomorrow and Johnny wouldn't. And that is awesome.
That's true too. I mean,
yeah,
but when we look at Sports Center and stuff though, they put everything Johnny Manziel did on the news, but you don't see that stuff with the athletes that, do the good things. And that's the part that
hey,
I
what's
have
up?
an issue with.
I'm just going to go ahead and pick them over.
Okay. Sounds good.
All right. See you, Coach.
All right. Bye. Sorry, our guys just got here, and my student who's picking them up was letting me know.
Well,
The life of the
Brandon, you want to
Crimson
go
podcast.
Hey, you want to do
I'm
do
getting
the
up
picks,
right now.
Brandon? That way,
Dio
just in
texted me
case.
too. He just woke up.
All right, buddy.
Yeah, you just kill it, put this up, and blast it out too, and like get a whole bunch of backlash.
Oh man,
Yeah.
And you know
don't worry
what?
about any of that.
The media
Nope.
right now, I'm gonna be honest with you. Back back when Stuart Scott and all Rich Eisen and all these guys had Sports Center, it was a real thing. You could tell that they were genuinely bringing the scores. They had no hidden agenda. Today, you can't even watch the sports news without an agenda, and it's sad.
I can't tell. I can't tell you the last time I did.
Yeah, I don't watch Sports Center anymore, really.
I'll fall. I'll
That's the
fall. I'll
To
fall
be
opinion.
asleep
totally
at
honest.
Sports Center because I want to watch the highlights and
Yeah.
the scores. Outside of
Yeah.
Sports Center, I quit watching the facility. Well, the facility's off there, but I quit watching First Things First. I quit watching ESPN First Take. All of those. I quit watching them all. I don't watch any of them anymore. It's too political at this point. I'm who I am. Like
Yeah.
the last 5 years, I've learned how to really be comfortable in my own skin. Like the worst has already happened to me. There's nothing you can do to me at this point. My faith is in God, and I'm not worried about the backlash. I'm not worried about any of that because I am who I am, and the worst has already happened. What can you do to me?
You know, I always look at it, just like you're driving a car. You know what? There's a reason why the front window is bigger than the back mirror. So, you put the stuff in the back mirror behind you and you just got the open road in front of you. And it's always a good day when we wake up.
Mm-hmm.
And I wish a lot more people would think that way, but we love sports, and I mean we love it whether the good and the bad in it. And as we've gotten older, there's always been bad in sports, but it hasn't been as publicized as it is nowadays. So, and then they've kind of hidden the good, to the back burner. It's like the news. The breaking news is always the bad stuff, and the good news is always at the end of the show.
Mm-hmm.
So, but it is what it is. Hey, your Sooners are going to lose on a bye week, right?
Ha! No, we're gonna get healthy. Is what we're gonna do.
I hope so because I took you guys against Ole Miss.
Freaking Art
Go ahead.
Mason.
Sorry.
Art Mason pulling his quad. I didn't feel good when I saw him come out, but they stepped up, man, against Tennessee. The rest of that defensive line.
Yeah, you guys have played good this year. I mean, I'm still. We were talking. Here's a question that maybe you can answer. Me and Brandon talked about this the other day. Notre Dame, 2 losses, right? One of their losses is to a 2-loss Miami team. Notre Dame's ranked number 10, but Miami's down farther. How does that make sense?
I think it's how you're playing now. I think Notre Dame has played better as the year has gone on.
They have, but you can definitely see the political side of it.
Yeah, I mean, to an extent, I suppose, but Notre Dame's one of the few teams in the country that they're like, hey, they're going to blow them out, and they do.
I think Louisville has a better. I think
I didn't call
Louisville
that
has a better argument. I think Virginia has a better argument. I think OU has a better argument. Who else am I missing? There was one more I thought had a better argument.
Vanderbilt.
I said Vandy.
Was looking at Facebook before coming
Oh,
out here.
maybe I didn't say Vandy.
They had a meme of
Come on,
Brian
Maybe I thought
Kelly
Vandy was
at
first when I said it.
Oklahoma.
Louisville, Vandy, Virginia. Georgia Tech. That was the other one. All have.
The
Go ahead.
ACC's. I said the ACC is just not good,
It's
like
not.
comparative.
Well, I think the
Yeah.
NCAA has handcuffed coaches. I think the players have handcuffed coaches. It's really hard to coach when you can't coach. I mean, it just really is. Like you look at Mike Gundy at OSU, and coach, you're from Oklahoma, and you follow the OU OSU. We know that there's been a lot of changes in Stillwater. Besides the firing of Mike Gundy 2 years prior to that, there was major changes at Oklahoma State, and so they kind of handcuffed Gundy for a little bit. And I just feel that some of these coaches, maybe not Gundy, because I think Gundy needed to leave Oklahoma State. He's been there 20 years. But some of these coaches are getting fired, and when you look at what the organization itself is doing, the organization is handcuffing these coaches and expecting these coaches to perform. Well, how do you do that? How can you as an athletic director say, hey, coach, I want you to go coach, but you don't get any of your tools?
Yeah, I mean, there's some definitely challenging situations and shifting dynamics out there for sure. And, it's, with every decision, like in choice, there comes consequences. And, those you'll see those play out, I think, over the next 5 to 7 years. I don't know what they are, but they're going to play out. Like I saw somebody put out an interesting thought of, man, LSU has a chance to like reshape how coaching contracts are done and pay a guy a base of $1 million and then pay him $500,000 for every win and make it incentive based. So then, like the buyout, like it shifts the buyouts, and like the model he had, the guy could, if you went to LSU, you could still make like $10 or $12 million, but it just kind of shifted how that would look.
Now, we were on live yesterday, and I heard something, and I just kind of want to hear your take on it. Somebody said that the Auburn job is better than the LSU job, and that the LSU job is actually one of the worst jobs available in the SEC.
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's just like what you value. Like, I think that at Auburn, you're probably going to walk into like a more like, yes, the bones of that house are probably a little bit better, but the ground to build on is probably
That's what I
better
was
in
thinking.
Baton Rouge. Like, I mean, not saying Auburn you can't win a national championship. Obviously, they have. But what I find really interesting about the two jobs is that you're looking at two situations that those programs should be top 20 programs, and so like that's really hard to do in and of itself. So I don't know. I think it's just going to depend on the guy. Now, I really hope LSU hires Lincoln
What?
Riley. I want to play that SOP every year. Oh yeah, it's starting to sneak out there. They wanted him last time, but who knows? Freaking
Man, they do better
Lincoln
go
over
into like
there.
drywall or something. Better learn how to build something.
Yeah,
Pick up a hammer.
yeah, but no, I mean, I think they're both really good jobs. I think like when you break it down, like I think you could be swayed either way. I would take either one of them, even though I've never coached football in my life, and I would just
Are
hire the right
you are you a Lincoln Riley fan? Are you sure?
Heck no. I'm more than
Who would
positive.
advocate for that guy to have another job? I'm sorry, but you can't ride off the coats of Bob
I'm not.
Stoops forever. The dude has been out of the league for a while. In fact, he just won a title two
I don't
years
know.
ago with the USFL.
I mean, USC is ranked 19th, and
Don't play
the kid they
nobody.
have is playing really good. Playing really good at quarterback. So I don't like him. I wouldn't want him to ever come back to Oklahoma and spend more than 4 hours on a Saturday getting waxed there. But I get where he's at too. Like I understand his decisions as a fan. Like I don't like how things transpired as somebody who shares the same profession. Totally get it. you know, so. I think this is the sad thing is like all the bad things are coming out in somebody will probably hire him.
Yeah. Coach, I do have one question off the mark here. I mean, it is on the
Okay.
mark, but for you, is there, with you being a baseball coach and stuff, being a coach, is there a dream job for you? Is there one dream job that you, as a coach, that if that offer ever came, you would have a hard time saying no?
Um I think that there are situations that definitely intrigue me.
Okay.
I think I would never go on record in a public forum and talk about those.
No, that's fine. No, you're that's perfect. You know what? That's what I'm saying though, is because I know as coaching and stuff, there's always one place that I know I would want to, if I could coach, I would.
Right.
That's what I'm just saying is, it's in everybody, unfortunately, and it's not unfortunate, but sometimes we got to remember that the coaches, there are places that their hearts are at, will always be at.
Sure. I think my wife and I'll give you, I guess, like my wife and I love living in Arkansas. I would love to be in Kansas City by my folks. We love Oklahoma. Like we love Missouri. Like I think we're at a point in our life with our kids that to pull us out of kind of this 4 or 5 state area where we're 6, 7 hour drive to my parents or her parents or whatever.
Yeah.
It would have to be a very good situation.
Yeah.
But I'm also I want to win. I love competition, but I also am motivated by the people, not
Right.
the outcomes.
Yep. Okay.
Oh my gosh, Rod.
Rod, quit pushing that button. He answered it.
Okay, I'll answer this question honestly, dude. If I had a chance to go to Texas or Dallas Cowboys, man, I would take it in a heartbeat. The only problem with the Dallas Cowboys is Jerry Jones would be my GM, and I would like to think he can't live forever, but I don't know.
If you just say yes and do what he wants, he'll make it 12 years
Bro,
like
I'm
Jason
not a yes
Garrett. I don't
man.
know. It doesn't
I
sound like a
wish I
bad
could
gig.
be.
Why? We're rolling.
Yeah.
You
I'm
don't
not
think I
gonna
shake
lie,
that
man. I
ship.
wouldn't mind. I wouldn't mind
Yeah.
getting to learn under Ben Johnson. I'm an offensive mind, and there's some things
Yeah.
that I'm like, I see what you did there.
Yeah.
I like that.
That's
Yeah,
the good thing I got to do. I got lucky when I got hired at the high school, as I got to coach the JV and be the head coach of the JV and run the offense, and I enjoyed it. And then on the varsity, I was an offense assistant, and I enjoyed that part a lot. Got to come up with new things and
I
stuff.
think with the
So
NFL, it would be about who you got to coach with. Like for me, I want to coach with either Mike Tomlin or Dan Campbell. Like
yeah,
it's more of like what coaches would I get to go to, not where would I get to go to. Because if you get me under Tomlin, Tomlin's a defensive mind, dude. I'm an offensive guru, believe it or not. Uh, I'm not an OC. I'm just a running backs coach, so I teach my running backs how to read the hole, how to follow a block, and that's all I do. But let me get a chance with the offense. I'll show you some 3-tier. I'll show you some 3-tier stuff right here. There's been a couple times like I've drawn up a couple plays and it's made it in our playbook. Sitting at a restaurant asking a waitress for a pen so I can write it on a napkin.
Yep.
Um, Not now. Got to change some times, Rod.
Well, Coach Bacon, if you ever become a head coach, look me up, okay, sir?
And I don't know if I want to do that again.
Hey man,
I don't
I'll coach some
blame you.
infield, some outfield. I'll hit some
No,
fun. What's up? No, I love Fungo.
I jokingly say that like I want to be in the right. When I take a head coaching job again, I want it to be the right situation for me. The place I did it at isn't a bad place. It wasn't the right place for me.
Yeah.
I got you.
And it looks like you were. You know what? You can tell by where you're at, Coach, just by talking to you how we have, and having you on other social media stuff. You can tell that you are very happy where you're at. You can see that.
You play golf?
Not just in the sport, family wise too, and that's
Family,
very
yeah.
important.
Family, absolutely. I think you're always frustrated. Like, I think you always want different things, right? Like, you're always fighting. And so, like, I think as you mature as a coach, you understand, like, how to put some of that down and separate it.
Yes, and I've been able to see that with you, just by us being on here.
Yeah, don't talk to my wife. My wife might disagree with you.
My wife would disagree with me anyway,
Last
so it's
question.
okay.
Last
It's
question,
called
and then we're
marriage.
moving on to picks because we got about 20 minutes left. Really quick, Coach. You play golf?
I do. I don't play as much the last, like, 2
We need
years.
to we need to hook up and go play 18.
Yeah, I will see if man, what was it? Probably 3 years ago, I was playing like 65 rounds a year.
Jeez.
And I got to where I was okay. And I haven't played as much.
25.
So.
I've played about 25 rounds in my life, but I shoot mid 80s.
Yeah, there we go, that baby.
But Northwestern at USC, man, stinking Lincoln's at it again tonight. Can't stand this dude. I hope he loses at home and gets fired. No, I'm just kidding. I don't wish that on anybody. I do hope he loses at home though. But USC should win this one handily.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with USC. The Mavia kid is really good. Like, he's really good.
I'm going. Yeah, I have to go with the coach. I have to
Yeah,
go with
that's
the
sweet.
USC on this one, unfortunately.
All right, so this one gets interesting, in my opinion. Indiana at Penn State.
I wish this game was at night. If this game was at night, there's a part of me that would take Penn State. Because Happy Valley at night is an electric atmosphere at noon Eastern time on
Not so much.
Saturday. The mob boss, it's gonna take the fans a half to wake up and shake off some poor decisions from the night before. And man, I'm going with the mob boss again and Mendoza just to roll, and then probably to put another 50 burger up.
Yeah, I'm right there on that one too, Coach.
Yeah,
Indiana.
this is a sweep. But however, I do want everybody to understand you are going into Penn State. They just lost their coach, so you got guys that are trying to transfer. So you got guys fighting for film right now. When you got guys fighting for film at your home stadium, believe it or not, that actually matters. So this could be a trap game.
It
But
does.
again, I have Indiana as well. I think that not Pavia. I think the Mendoza kid up there is doing really, really well. I think it's between him, Ty Simpson, for Heisman. That's just my opinion.
I mean, Brandon, I would say you're right in most cases, but I think that Penn State deal is just different. Like, I can't imagine like those guys really wanting. It's not like they don't like James Franklin. Like,
Right.
they all loved him.
Yeah.
Like, and so I think that group's toast. I don't think they care about the film.
I mean, I hope. But I think when you're playing for film, I think it does make you dangerous. I do have Indiana. I don't. I think it's gonna be a lot closer than what people think. I think it's gonna be a defensive battle for the first half. Georgia at Mississippi State. This is probably also a sweep. A lot of these are probably going to be a sweep till we get to the toss-up games.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Bulldogs.
Which one?
That's awesome. I was waiting for that.
Man, I think Georgia has played with so much fire. Like they've played with fire in multiple games, and they find a way to sneak it out. I think Levy does have Mississippi State going the right direction, even though maybe the record may not show
They have a
it.
winning record right now, which is impressive for Mississippi State.
Yeah, but they haven't. Yeah, the SEC record is no bueno though. I'm gonna go with Georgia, but I think it's close.
Yeah, I'm going Georgia too.
Do it, Rodney. Yeah, Rodney.
I've got Georgia, but I just want everybody to know that they did beat Arkansas. They lost the 2 points to Florida. They let Texas come back and beat them in overtime, but they also beat a 12 ranked Arizona State 24-20. And Arizona State's been playing pretty good. So these guys are. I think you're right about them moving in the right direction. I think they are moving. They do have a winning record, which is nice for Mississippi State. This could be a trap game because Georgia has us next week, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, give me Georgia. And then we got BYU at Texas Tech, which I think this one is a toss-up game.
Oh, there's no toss-up about it. Lubbock, Texas. They can't throw the tortillas anymore. What a shame.
Yeah.
Okay, that was one of the. Yeah, they ask them not to because of the fines and whatever. And you've got a ruckus crowd there in Lubbock. But listen, nothing calms somebody down like the soothing conversation when one of those guys knocks on your door, his tie on, in his Bible, and he wants to talk to you about Joseph Smith. Give me freaking BYU. Give me BYU over and over again. I love Bear. He's going to go down there, and that Raider Rash is going to have no chance against the Cougars.
And this is where I go opposite. And I'm going opposite. I've got Texas Tech winning this one at home.
So I've learned my lesson the last 2 weeks. I've gone against the Mormons. The last 2 weeks they beat me. So we're not going against the Mormons this time. We're rocking with the Mormons. Give me BYU going into Texas Tech at Lubbock. They really can't do the tortilla thing anymore. That's crap.
They asked them not to because they were getting fined. I don't know. Sometimes NCAA is the fun.
That's crazy. That was one of the coolest things
Yes.
about Texas Tech was the tortillas, and watching Baker Mayfield eat one off the ground.
Yeah.
Ohio State at Purdue sweep.
Ohio State.
Ohio State.
The Citadel at Ole Miss. Where is the Citadel?
Ole Miss. Hotty toddy. North Carolina. It's a military school.
Oh, it's military?
Oh,
Ole
South
Miss.
Carolina. Yeah, it's a military school.
I love our military.
Just because it's close to Bot Rod, I'm picking
I love
Ole
our
Miss.
military, but they're going to get mollywopped.
Yeah.
Now this one is kind of interesting because of where it's at, but you got A&M at Mizzou.
Man, I picked Mizzou, and then of course their quarterback gets hurt and end up, whatever, close one there. At Vanderbilt, A&M has been really good. They might be the best team in the country, and I can't stand saying that. You know what? Freaking give me the Tigers. Give me Drink to get a big payday, and just make his stock rise. Well, either way.
Yeah.
Brandon,
I'm rocking Texas A&M as well. I think Texas A&M takes a loss, but I think it's from my boys. We smack them at the end of the year.
I'm gonna go with Texas A&M just because they do look like the best team in the nation right now.
Oregon at Iowa.
Iowa's a tough place to go play, man. They wave at the children, at the hospital, and it's a really tough place to go play. Oregon is, Oregon's quietly still really good.
I
Iowa's
don't know about
offense has
quietly.
been better. They've been pretty quiet since they lost. Nobody talks about them. The and I really want to choose Iowa here because that place is tough to go play at. It's slept on environments. You got to fly into the middle of freaking nowhere, like. But give me the Ducks. Quack quack.
Yeah, I'm going with the Ducks. I mean, they're going to be waving at the children with a W. That
Bird,
2:30.
2:30.
do not take my pick and kill this pick.
He takes Oregon.
I'm just playing, Bird. I am rocking with the upset. Give me Iowa at home at 2:30. Big Ten, smash mouth football. Have a little better defense. Oregon, if they can start hot, it's going to be a long game for Iowa. But I think Iowa's defense is enough to slow down Oregon. Give me Iowa in an ugly game. I just, for some reason, I don't trust Oregon. Something's telling me this is not the team to trust. Syracuse at Miami.
Miami in a bounce back. They put up a
I
ton of
agree.
points here.
I say Miami, and it's not because I'm a Hurricane fan. It's because I do not like the quarterback at Syracuse. He is not a good quarterback.
Syracuse has been underwhelming, under delivering, and over disappointing all year long. Not taking the Orangemen at all anymore. I'm done. Auburn at Vanderbilt.
Give me Vandy by
By
Pavia.
Pavia.
Yeah, I got to go with Vanderbilt.
Yeah, I don't think Jackson Arnold's going to be able to do it.
He's not starting. They went to the other cat.
Yeah,
Oh,
they
really?
went to Daniels. Yeah,
Yeah, Jackson Arnold's about ruined two coaches' careers.
yep.
Washington at Wisconsin.
Wisconsin, big news, supporting Fickle, saying he'll be the coach still
Coach
next
next
year. I
year.
actually love it. And they're going to give him more resources. I love it. That's what it's supposed to look like. Camp Randall's tough, man. Give me Fickle, relaxed, making great decisions, and Wisconsin with the upset.
It'd be an upset.
I don't dislike that. I do not dislike that, to be totally honest. But I think Washington is hitting their stride. I got to go with Washington though.
That's where I'm at with it. I think Washington's playing a really good brand of football right now. I know they have 2 losses. They're trying to be in contention for a nice um, bowl game, or even sneak out a playoff spot by winning the conference. They're rocking. Give me Washington. Wake Forest at Virginia.
Give me the Morris kid in Virginia.
This was my upset of the week. I'm going with Wake Forest with the upset over Virginia.
I've got Virginia. Now, California at Louisville.
Yeah, Louisville, man, they're a really good team. Give me
I don't even
Louisville.
think it's going to be a game.
I like the quarterback. Yeah, I like the quarterback of California, but they don't have enough, especially at Louisville at home. Louisville.
All right, the game of the night. Just kidding. LSU at Alabama. No, you're in.
No, it's
No.
at Alabama. Ronnie, what's your kiss of death?
I need my wife to go get the dish soap so I can wash my mouth out after this. Roll Tide. Yeah, so gross.
No, that just kills COVID if you drink it. Come on, Rodney.
Yeah.
Roll Tide. Alabama. Ty Simpson.
Who
As
do you
much
got,
as I hate
Coach?
to admit it, I think Ty Simpson is the best quarterback in college football. I'm not gonna say it's not close, but it's not as close as everybody keeps making it sound. Like there's been Mendoza looks good. Haynes Keene has done a great job over at Georgia Tech. There's been a lot of quarterbacks that I think look good, but I don't think there's any that look as good as Ty Simpson. I think Ty Simpson's ready.
What do you think, Coach?
I don't know if you guys will know this, but hey,
Fuck that Tiger! I'm not gonna finish it, but I do know it.
the chains are off. There is freedom from Nussmeier. There's freedom in the house. And when there's freedom in the house and your season's over, you are the most dangerous person ever. LSU goes into Tuscaloosa. Nussmeier redeems himself. And then OU ends Alabama's playoff chances next weekend.
That'd be man.
I wish I could go
I'm
with you
rooting
on
for
that.
it.
But yeah, I've got to go with Alabama on that one. I want to go with LSU, but I can't.
You know, it's funny that you did that chant. I
But I
just
like it.
found out. I think it was like last week what that chant was. I had to have somebody come in my panel and explain it to me because I had just heard it. And I was like, "What? How long has this been?" And apparently, it's been going on for a very, very long time. I had just found out about it.
For a long time. That's why I won't take my kids to LSU
Really?
tonight.
I thought maybe
Yep.
it was just. I thought
definitely.
maybe just Baton Rouge was a
Terrible
bad place to take your kids.
No, it's just there. It's wild. But no, I think LSU is going to come out and play with a lot of freedom. They get the Weeks kid back. Nussmeier can play quarterback.
Yeah.
There is when there's cancer in the house and you cut it out, the house starts to operate a lot better. And I really like some of the things the interim head coach has done, some of the life that he's brought, and the rally of support from former Tigers has been unbelievable. And I think that's enough to get them to snag one here.
Okay. Now the last game of the on the schedule here for the top 25, Navy at Notre Dame.
This game's going to take about 14 minutes to play with how much these two teams run the ball.
Yeah.
Man, I really think this is going to be close.
I do too.
Navy they are masters of like shrinking games down. Very rarely do they get blown out. Like I think Notre Dame blew them out last year or the year before, but like very rarely will they just get like boat raced out of a place. I think that they like the Love kid's going to run for 150, like whatever. But I think it's going to be close. I think Notre Dame wins. but I don't think like what like maybe some odd makers have it at a 28-point win. I don't think that's the case here. But give me Notre Dame.
I like your saying. I called it last week that Notre Dame or Navy took their blowout loss last week against North Texas. I called that game. This week, I think Navy goes into Notre Dame, plays them close, and wins.
Ooh, ooh.
I know. You go with love. You've been talking about love all year long. So you stay with your love kid.
What is love? Baby, don't hurt me. Hurt me no more.
Something
Oh,
feels weird about Notre Dame this year.
it's called Marcus Freeman going to Auburn.
Maybe,
Or
but
LSU.
I think that there is something behind Notre Dame, and it might be the referees, it might be just the NCAA itself. Um, I think they're gonna buy this win. No, give me Notre Dame. We lost coach. I don't know what it is. I really don't. But everything just feels gross and dirty. And every time I talk about Notre Dame, like it makes me feel gross and dirty. Right now, I feel like I need to go take a shower, and I don't know what it is. I really don't. It just feels gross and dirty.
All right, I gotta pop off, guys, but I will. I got one last thing. I was really thinking about this week. South Carolina's had a rough year. The Sellers kid is really good. Virginia Tech has a head coaching vacancy. I'm, sub- yeah. I just got this weird feeling that Virginia Tech's gonna bring back Beamer ball, and Sellers is gonna go to Virginia Tech with Shane Beamer. I don't know why. I just got this weird feeling because what's an easier way to play off? Virginia Tech in the ACC or staying at South Carolina and being in the SEC?
ACC would be a lot easier. I mean, it just is what
Yep.
it is. Which is where I think James Franklin should go. If somebody's going to give him a job, it should not be anything above ACC. ACC or below.
He's one win away from going to a national championship, or 1 point away from a national championship
Franklin?
game last year. Yeah, yeah.
I don't know. I just don't like it. Something about it. I don't know. I don't know a lot about Penn State or James Franklin. I just seen it this year, and this year I've watched him coach himself out of games, and when you see it, it it just hurts. It hurts me knowing that those guys, that his locker room, has to suffer for it. Like I don't like anything that's going on with Penn State. I don't like any of it. I didn't think that they should have let him go. I didn't think they should have let him go in the middle of the season. But when you have an easy road and you can't get through that road, how are you going to take on a tougher road?
Yeah, especially when your star quarterback gets hurt.
The star quarterback was hurt.
I don't know. It'll be interesting to see. Yeah, the Aller
Mm.
kid. Yeah,
Oh, okay. No, I didn't know all that. I just started watching college football. I watched the Longhorns. Outside of that, I was in the car business. Saturdays were not available, and so I didn't. I watched pro football. This is my first year of really getting into the college landscape of like looking at other teams. So, well, all right, guys. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for being here again. This episode is brought to you by Heaven Sent Hellbent Gear. Go to hshbgear.com, enter promo code MARRIED, get 15% off. And Styles Apparel, where we keep you in the latest styles of women's apparel. Coach, it's always a pleasure to have you on. Thank you for being here with us. As always, guys, peace.
Boomer.